In my previous video, I gave you an overview of the learning story style, and now I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is to actually fill in the learning story format using the online tools at AussieChildcareNetwork.com. So to begin, I'm going to start off with the top section over here and either choose an individual or group. This learning story format can be used for an individual child or for a group learning story. So for this example here, I'm just going to choose group, and to do this I'm going to click on the box here and click on the little arrow and choose group. Next thing is the name or room. If you're using this learning story for an individual child, you can type in the child's name, and if you're using this learning story for a group, you can type in your room. So for this, I'm going to type in toddler. Okay, the next thing I would want to do is select the date. To do this, just click on the box and then a little arrow will appear, and click on the arrow and a calendar will come up, and from here you can just select on the date. Now you may have noticed that these fields up the top section here are very similar to the ones in Curriculum Plan and also in Reflections of Our Day. So we try and make everything similar to keep it as simple and as easy for you guys. So next thing I'd like to do are insert my photos. So it's very simple to do. All you need to do is click on the box, and once you click on the box, you can import a image from your own computer. So I'm just going to do that for you now. So there we go. I'm going to select where my images are in my folders, and then select on the image, and then click on the button here, select, and my image will appear. Now the great thing about it is that the images will automatically resize, so it doesn't really matter how big your images are. When you're adding it into the learning story format, it will actually resize and align it all for you. And for the purpose of these learning stories, I just randomly chose these photos from Google, so this is just to use as my example. Okay, the next section I'm going to fill out is the learning story section here. So I'm just going to use these buttons to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. And over here you've got the learning story. Now in here, this is where you would type in your learning story. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I've just got some text I'm going to copy and paste. A lot simpler that way. So there you go. Now the next now that I've typed in my learning story, I'm going to do the analysis of learning here. I'm going to zoom in once again for you, just so you can have a look. And there we go. In the box here, we type in our analysis of learning. So I'll just add that in now for you. And also on the right side, you've got extension of learning over here. So you can also fill that box out too. I'm not actually going to go in and explain exactly the way on how to write learning stories and what you need to include. I've got a separate article available at AussieChildcareNetwork.com for you to view that. Okay, so now I've typed in my learning story, and I've also added the analysis of learning and extension of learning. Next thing I'd like to do is go over on the left hand side here and choose my learning outcomes. So over here on the left hand side, as you can see, we've got the 5 EYLF learning outcomes. Now all you need to do is click on the checkbox of the learning outcomes applies to the learning story you've written. Now you can have as many or as little as you want, but I always think it's always good to start off with at least 2 learning outcomes for the learning story. If you find more fit into the learning story, well then that's fine, you can always select them. So for this example, I'm just going to click a few, and as you can see, when I click on the checkbox, they just appear. And when you're also printing this out, they will also be visible. Okay, so down the bottom here I've did my learning outcomes, and next thing I'm going to choose a principle and a practice which applies to the learning story over here. So for this principle, I'm just going to choose secure, respectful and reciprocal relationships, and practice, I'm just going to do learning through play. It's always good when you're, for principles and practices, you just need to choose one. So just select which one best fits. Okay, now that I've filled out each of those sections, the next thing I'd want to do is insert a centre logo. So to do this, I'm just going to click on the box here, and once again import the image from my computer itself. Now if you don't have a centre logo that you want to use, that's fine. All you need to do is click on this button here, Clear Logo, and that will remove the centre logo button for you. So for this example, I am going to use a centre logo. Okay, now that I've finished filling out everything that I need to do, I'm just going to have a quick check to make sure everything is right. I filled out the room and make sure the date's correct. I'm also happy with the pictures I've selected. Very happy with those. Also made sure that the learning story I wrote makes sense and is all right, and added my analysis of learning and extension of learning. And I also just want to go and double check that I've added the correct EYLF learning outcomes, and also a principle and a practice. Okay, so I'm very happy with what it looks like, and now I'm ready to finalise and print the form out. Now in my next video, I'll be explaining how exactly it is to finalise and print the form. So yeah, hopefully this gives you guys an easy way on how to do a learning story. I know it's important for us to document, children's learning, but we just need something simpler to do, and I hope this gives you an interactive tool you can use within your service. Alright, thanks.